Escape from Tarkov. Have you seen this? Have you read about this? Well, it is freaking huge right now on Twitch. I'm talking right now, we've got over 200,000 people watching this thing. All the biggest streamers, Dr. Disrespect, Shroud, they're all playing this right now. Why? So why is this so popular now? If you don't know what Escape from Tarkov is, it's okay. I feel like a lot of people don't. This was a game that came out from a Russian studio back in 2016. It's been in like an early access for years. I remember a lot of people were playing it back when it first released, and I've watched a few videos here and there over the years while the game has progressed, and it's always looked like a pretty interesting game. Really what it is it's a big open world shooter game that incorporates elements of RPGs, MMOs, Battle Royales, all into one experience. And what you do in the game is you pretty much drop as someone called a PMC or a scav. So when you drop as a PMC, what you do is you drop down in one of the game's 7 maps during a raid. And during this raid, your whole goal is to find an extraction point while also gathering as much loot as you can. And you can find this loot by picking it out of other bodies that you find, people that were killed, players that were killed by others, or you can find them behind like locked doors and things like that. And when you get this loot, you can also lose it if you die before finding an extraction point. So the whole point of this game is you need to find an extraction point in order to keep the loot that you have in that game session. And if you don't and you die before you're able to get out, well, you pretty much lose just about everything that you have on your person except for the stuff that you kept out of the game in your secure lockbox that's kept outside of the game that you're currently playing in. So it really incentivizes people to want to play it safe, try to make friends, and that's just all around a great experience to watch. Or you can drop as a scav, which is pretty much a one of the bad guys. You know, there's enemy controlled AI that go around called scavs, and you can drop down as one of those. And in this game, you not only have to find an extraction point, and you have other players to deal with, and you've got this whole world to explore, and you've got item inventory management, but you also have quests that you can get from merchants. You have a secure box that you can put your loot into. You can interact with other players. It's pretty much exactly what I described. It's a Battle Royale, Fortnite type game, but instead of like the building, you get to actually get quests and you get to progress. So why do I think this game has blown up on Twitch? Well, first of all, the game has been doing a drop campaign on Twitch in partnership with Twitch, in which people who watch streams of Escape from Tarkov can get in-game items, and this is just really incentivizing the big streamers to stream this game because there's incentive for them to do that. If they get people to watch it, those people are going to be able to get in-game loot. And the second reason, and the reason why I think it's so big, is because it's not only a change of pace, but in this game there is a sense of progression. Fortnite has been huge for a long time. Any big Battle Royale game that's come out, including Apex Legends, Call of Duty's take on the Battle Royale genre, anyone that you can mention has blown up a little bit and it gets some attention. But the reason why this is blown up is not because it's a Battle Royale game. No, it incorporates elements of that into it, but really why I think this is such a big game right now is because there's a sense of progression, and for streaming, that's amazing. In other games like Fortnite and Black Ops, Battle Royale, and in Apex Legends, you drop down each time with nothing. I mean, you have nothing. You start fresh each game, and there's, other than getting some skins that you can put on yourself, you know, before each game, there's no sense of progression, right? In this game, you get to choose the loot items. If you drop down as a PMC, you get to choose your loot items that you've already got from playing earlier games that your audience has already watched you get, and you can apply those to your character to be better, to play better, to have a better game, to use the weapon you like. And you also get to find new loot as you play the game, which is awesome. You can't do that in Fortnite, right? You drop with nothing. Whatever you find during the game, you lose. In Escape from Tarkov, that's just not the situation. Another reason I think is because this is just a different change of pace. This is a gritty, very realistic, slow-paced game. This, honestly, watching it reminds me a lot of like a blend of a Battle Royale and a Rainbow Six Siege. Like just the way that it plays out is much slower, it's much more methodical, and that is something that is great for Twitch streaming, right? It's a tense experience, you know, when these people get in these gunfights and they could potentially lose all the loot they have by dying in this round. That can be very interesting and intriguing to watch. And another thing about this game is it can also be played with friends, so it's cooperative, but it's also a game in which you will have enemies to deal with, which I think is what makes a lot of Battle Royale games big, is that you can see people play with their friends, right? They can play squads, they can play duos, they can play with other people to help them out to accomplish some goal. And that's always great. So whether someone on Twitch wants to go alone on Escape from Tarkov, or if they want to play with other people, you know, have some sort of team aspect to it, they can do that, and that's awesome. That's great for Twitch streaming. It's great for people to watch because they're invested in it, and it can make the experience a lot more entertaining if you have other people around you to feed off of. And you have all these big Twitch streamers, like specifically Dr. Disrespect, come out, and he's kind of new to the game, hasn't really played it, and has been playing it a ton the last couple days, and he's come out and just praised the game. Praised the game for just being slower paced. You know, he said that, yeah, sure, you're not flying around and doing all these sporadic things. It's not a fast paced game, but it's a lot slower paced, it's a lot more tense, and it's honestly probably just a lot more fun for him to play, to break the monotony of the Fortnite and, you know, all the other popular games that have been topping the Twitch charts for quite some time. So yeah, this is really interesting. It seems like a pretty interesting game, and I think the reason why at the end of the day a lot of people are watching it and why it has blown up on Twitch is because of all the reasons I mentioned, right? It's a game that can be played with friends. It's a game in which there's a sense of progression, in which you can actually make progress by finding loot items. It's a game in which it's so diverse and varied, where you can get quests, you have to find an extraction point, there's all sorts of hazards and tense moments that can happen from enemy AI as well as other players who are acting as enemies. There's big incentive to survive. There's also just a big incentive not to just go out and kill other players, right? It seems like in Fortnite, what really the whole point of the game is you're supposed to kill other players so that you're the last one left standing. And this one is much more varied, in which you can play as that, or you can decide to play a different game and try to cooperate with people and just make it out alive. So yeah, it's been really interesting to see this game just suddenly blow up. I don't know if it's all because of the in-game loot drops that they have, their partnership with Twitch. I don't know if that's a part of it, and you know, because these bigger streamers are streaming it, that it's just blown up. But yeah, it's at least cool to see that a new, smaller game has broken out, and that we're getting finally something kind of different to watch on Twitch, and that's always a great thing, just different things to watch. So let me know in the comments down below, have you seen any gameplay, or have you played Escape from Tarkov? What do you think about it? Are you interested in it at all? Do you think it looks like a good game? Would you ever try it out? And as always, like, subscribe, comment down below, and that's it.